So a big win, a clean sheet. Was the tempo better from them, as we were discussing before the game?
I'm not sure the tempo was. I mean, they come on the front foot, which you expect at home at the Bridge against Tottenham. I wouldn't say that they didn't play free-flowing, quick football where it was 1-2 touch, through the pitch quickly, create, get a corner, get pressure. There wasn't that sort of performance from Chelsea. I think the manager just said it right, that they'd done enough to win. They deserved to win, as we've said. They'd done just enough to win tonight against Tottenham, who were playing a little bit within. If they'd have played against the Liverpool tonight, or a Man City possibly, or a Forest, they might have had some trouble. They really might have done.
Better structure to me.
Was it more rhythm, more pattern to their play?
Better structure. Caicedo is a diamond of a player. He breaks up so many attacks. He sits in that midfield. For Colwell and Chalobah tonight, he must have been a dream. He was just in there and he's just giving it to players who can play in front of him, likes of Enzo, Cole Palmer. Neto always threatens him behind, even though it wasn't his best game. And I've got Nicholas Jackson back. They need to finish in the top 5. Otherwise, it's not a very good season for them.
And if anything, Caicedo highlights what Spurs were missing, right?
Yeah.
In the end, how much better did Chelsea look for having Jackson and Palmer back in the lineup?
Yeah, improved them. Well, you've got a vocal point up front, haven't you? You know, someone who occupies defenders and creates space for others. I think he looked a real threat from the first minute, you know, when he goes in behind them. And he scares them to death with that. Automatically, they step back another 5 or 10 yards and it leaves the space for Enzo.
It was a minute in and he hit the post, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he is a real threat. I mean, he's hit and missed the boy. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. He's a bag of rebels, but in the end, I think he knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows he's a nuisance, and that's what he is. Yeah. He's an absolute nuisance, and I mean that it's a big positive, and that's a compliment from me. I would love to have him in my team, you know, because he can be hit and miss with the finishing. Sometimes he needs to slow himself down in front of goal, but he's a real threat behind.
That's a bag of chocolates, in case anybody doesn't know what they are, but others are available.
We showed the clips before the game of what they've been missing. Neto weren't going to do that run when he was playing.
No.
He was wanting to come towards the ball. Suddenly, within first minute, we've showed them clips, he's going on the back of the defence, and as Tim says, now you're stretching the pitch. You've got a number 10 in there, a proper number 10, as in Cole, who's now going to create a lot more space for him to go and play and hurt you. Whereas Neto will be coming towards the ball and crowding that out, and then it's the number 10 that's got to go in behind. Yeah. If that's the case, that's not Chelsea. He gave them that little threat in behind, and any defender will tell you that's what they don't want. They don't want that player coming towards the ball and spinning and getting in behind. That's a nightmare for them.
And he's frustrated, they haven't won the game. We've been in that position. I've been exactly in that position at the Bridge as well. So it must be something to do with Tottenham managers at the Bridge. It's the emotion of the game. We talked about how big that occasion is, and it didn't go their way. But let's talk about the incident. It's a foul.
Because he says it's not clear and obvious.
It's a foul. It's a foul. It's not clear and obvious to the referee in full time, and it wasn't clear and obvious to us.
So I think that's where the timing of it wasn't just the decision, is there a foul there, which Ange was saying, and I understand his frustrations, but it also took 4 minutes to get the offside when Caicedo did score at the other end. So that's okay, is it? Because you get the result. You get the decision go your way. It was 4 minutes at that end as well to work out. And that was much more difficult than the foul.
I really don't care how long it takes. I really don't. I know a lot of people get frustrated with it, but I don't care how long it takes, as long as you come to the correct decision.
Yeah.
Like last night, they looked at it, I thought it was poor. They got the wrong decision, even though they looked at it for however many minutes it was. And they've come out and they've admitted that today. Today, they've taken their time, and on both occasions, they are correct.
So you both say that's a foul by Sarr on Caicedo. Was it right also then to give him a yellow, having reviewed the incident?
I don't think it's bad enough. It's not excessive force to be a red. It was high. Right. When they freeze it, it's naughty, but it's a glancing blow to his leg here. It's a glancing blow. But I honestly believe he's gone into foul him. He's not, or maybe he's gone to poke the ball and he's just tried to shear it. Yeah. He's shielding the ball away from Papsar, and he catches him. There's no question. And the whole of the team, the Chelsea team, go up. Yeah. You can it's a giveaway. I know they appeal.
They didn't go up until the goal went in. They weren't anywhere near the referee. They weren't claiming it was a foul then. Until the goal went in, then 4 of them run to the referee. Because it ended up in the back of the net. If you get a reaction where you've seen it, it's clear and obvious to the player, and you see that he's been done. For me, he was just trying to pinch the ball. Caicedo's leg actually gets in the way. It's a foul, 100% a foul. But even when I see it, he hasn't tried to do him or anything like that. for me, definitely not a red, even maybe not a yellow.
No.
It's an accident. He hasn't tried to go, I'm going to do you here,
And
son.
it's not dangerous,
He's
saying,
just, no, he's just tried to, he's tried to toe the ball away, which it looked in real life, in real time. It looked as if he just pokes it away, he went on, scored a goal. But when you just see it again, you think, oh no, he made contact with the leg first.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's Caicedo putting his leg across the front, he hasn't gone in there and tried to do him.
Look at this, Tim, 20 defeats now in all competitions this season. It's the second most, the most of 21 back in 93, 94. But, you know, they've still got, what, 8 games left?
Yeah. Well,
of the Premier
unfortunately.
League season, and they're still in Europe.
Yeah.
That could well be eclipsed.
Well, of course, it's going to be an unwanted record, what they're going to get. But like I keep going on to and harping on about, their season is over in the Premier League. It really is. They're not going to get relegated. It's impossible for them to reach the European spots. It's all about one game, and that's next Thursday against Frankfurt in the Europa League. And then it's going to be difficult. The easy games have gone now in this competition. The players are all back to fitness. They have to get some confidence in the next Premier League game against Southampton. Hopefully they rotate the players and give everyone minutes who he needs to give minutes to. But the preparation, he has to have his eyes firmly fixed on next Thursday night against Europa League. They're capable of winning this competition and qualifying for the Champions League and lifting a trophy, and he will be a hero. He's gone from zero to hero if they win this tournament.
You say they're capable. How confident are you that they will win the Europa League?
Well, when I look at the second favourites are Man United, for instance, and when I look at the way Man United are playing at the moment, if they was to play in the final against each other tomorrow, I would think Tottenham would beat Manchester United. But there's other teams in it with lesser players who have got a better structure about them at the moment, a little bit more confidence, and it's going to be very difficult for them to win it. But I still think they're capable.
The way they play at the moment, they can't win that cup. Unless he changes, which he won't do. You cannot play football like that at the top level. I've said it before, at any top level of sport, if Root gets 100, it's because he knows when to defend to get the 100. To when to go for the 6 and the 4. You've got to have a balance. If you're a boxer as well, you've got one arm behind your back, you ain't going to be able to keep out swinging. You're going to get picked off. And football's like that as well. If Spurs keep playing like that, we're making it so hard to win football matches. That stat just told you.
Yeah.
Too many games. 16 losses in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard this phrase before, but Thursday, it's all or nothing. It's absolutely all or nothing.
But they can be dynamic,
Spurs.
Glenn, can't they? You know, they're a 20-over team.
If it was a one round, I'd say maybe.
But two
over 2 games, I can't see them going all the way and going
Look,
through.
Spurs are 14th in the table. Their lowest ever Premier League finish is 15th. That was under Ozzy in 1994. With 2 months left of this league season, can you still argue that Spurs and Ange is still the right fit?
Yeah, I would argue for him. I really would, on the basis of what he done last season. I think he was really encouraging what he delivered. I think we have to listen to him. He said that they're crippled with injuries this year, especially in them centre-back positions. But I still think there's an element of change what was needed and adapt your team. Cannot play the same way. When you're playing with Mickey van der Ven or Romero and all of the, these best players, then fine when you play a certain way. But when they're out of the team, sometimes you have to change it up just to get results for the side to move them forward. Can't lose that amount of football matches if you're a Tottenham Hotspur manager. But it still could be very good for him.
Jenny, you see it's unlikely Spurs will progress in the Europa League or win it.
Hey.
But is it? I know you more than anyone want them to win it.
As much as I'd love it to happen.
But if they don't, where does it leave Ange?
Well, it leaves him on a knife edge, to be honest. With Daniel Levy's past, with the fans' situation as it is, it's going to be a difficult one for him. Unless he changes, I don't understand. I would love to sit down with Ange and have half hour with him and say, like, this is what happens, and come away from that conversation and go, I understand exactly what you're doing. I understand what you're trying to achieve and blah, blah, blah. But I'm afraid what I've seen so far, they've got their players back. That's a strong Tottenham team, without Kulusevski maybe, the only one. And they played the similar system there, and we still struggled. We had no control over that game. We had probably 3 or 4 minutes in the first half, and so there was no control over the game, and they got their best players back. So there is a question mark there, unless he adjusts and changes a little bit, and I think he'd have done that with all them injuries.
Chelsea 1 at Tottenham 0. Well, the Blues are back after the international break to win 1-0 at Stamford Bridge and go back to the top 4 in the Premier League table. 4th at the moment, a point ahead of Manchester United, 2 points ahead of Newcastle, who have a game in hand. Well, it's been a turbulent period for Chelsea in the last couple of months, falling from 2nd position to 4th, to 5th, 6th, and then back to 4th. Right now, they will be hoping to consolidate their position in the table and keep it till the end of the season, because they have 8 important games to end the season in the Premier League. So this is now or never. This is not a time to play like kids, or the time to play inconsistently. You give everything. It's like every game is a final at the moment. But I kind of like, how they looked at this in this game tonight. Very solid at the back, gave little to Tottenham, who are one of the most entertaining teams in the Premier League, and also one of the most free-scoring teams in the Premier League. They are not easy to keep quiet. They can leak goals, but they are not easy to keep quiet. Well, talking about Tottenham leaking goals, they had Romero back and then Van der Ven back as well. So they had a solid base tonight, and it made the game a lot more difficult for both teams. Chelsea had Jackson, Palmer and Madueke back from injuries, but Madueke didn't start, so they had Palmer and Jackson back, and both of them actually contributed a lot, to how they played tonight. But at the back, I have to give it up for Trevor Chalobah. He was very, very, very impressive, defended on the front foot. I mean, aggressively and all whatnot, but by and large, he was really, really good tonight. He played extremely well tonight. But the man of the match for me, Moises Caicedo, once again, he stands tall. What a player this guy is. And he's doing this as a number 6. I actually don't think he's a number 6. I think he's a box-to-box, yeah. And if he's doing this as a number 6, imagine what he can do as a boss-to-boss. When Chelsea have a solid number 6 that will be stable and available every game, unlike Lavia, who comes in and goes out at will. Well, the sky is this guy's limit. He's absolutely amazing. He's absolutely unplayable at times. Tonight he was unplayable again. He was on top of his game, winning tackles, recovering balls, being in the right places, making forward passes, scoring a goal that was disallowed for offside. He had everything. He played his ass out. But this is him. This is how he plays every game. He plays every game like the last game of his life. He goes into every tackle with everything in his soul. So he's that kind of player. And it has been amazing, to watch him develop in the last couple of months. In fact, this started from towards the end of last season, going into this season, and he has been going from strength to strength. He's been amazing, honestly speaking. I'm not trying to blow his trumpet a lot more, but that's what it is. He's been absolutely wonderful. To me, if you ask me, Chelsea's a player of the season today, I would tell you Moses Caicedo straight up, even if I just wake up from sleep. So that's good. That's how good he has been this season. And Chelsea are so lucky to have him. He's always available. He's one guy that doesn't really get injured, a lot. Considering how he plays, you think that he should be getting injured a lot, but he doesn't. He's always available there to help his teammates. So one of the best players on the pitch today. Personally, in my opinion, the best player on the pitch today, and helped Chelsea to win the game 1-0. Good day for the Blues, who will be hoping to make it 2 wins out of 2 after the international break when they take on Brentford on Sunday.